Kate Daly Show.
All right, welcome back. Make sure and text Birch Gold 989898. Text my name, Kate. You'll get some free information when you do that, and I really want you to look that information over, okay? Very important that we get financially prepared for what's happening, and that will give you a lot of things to think about and do that you can do right now. So you won't feel helpless. 989898. And of course, when you text that number, text my name, Kate, Kate. So simple. By the way, it's Colorado, not Arizona, Colorado. And this is Tina Peters. Tina Peters, who is going to court this week. It starts this week, jury selection today. And she is being tried, facing over 20 years for doing something very legal in her position. And that is in her position, she is allowed to take a snapshot of what's going on in the machines when it comes to the election and voting your votes. She's allowed to do that. They are going after her for a lot of years. And her husband is now dead. And they successfully moved him around and put him away in a nursing home in Arkansas and the whole 9 yards. You cannot believe her story. It's just insane what they've done to her. All right. And she has so much integrity. She's a hero. She's a true hero. Here's Tina and talking about what actually happened in that machine as well. Done that? Has anyone else in the country kind of shown, hey, wait a minute, these machines, what's in them? Has anyone else?
Well, we know now through FOIA and discovery and things like that, we know now that these machines are made. So Dominion has always held up that they're based in Denver, Colorado. Mm-hmm. They're actually headquartered in Serbia. And then you get into the Smartmatic aspect of it with Venezuela. So what this unlocked was the mother lode. What this unlocked, they're calling it the Rosetta Stone. And now they're able to see how elections all over the world, we're talking Philippines, Venezuela, Brazil, all these places have been subverted and the people's voice has been silenced. And people, and I know you know this, Kate, many of your listeners know this, is that this is not Democrat and Republican.
Nope.
They're choosing people on both sides. They're installing people on both sides. And, like the movie on my website, that they're being selected, not elected. And I know you
actually,
and it's interesting because when you say conjured up, that's exactly that. It's like a spell. It's like these people are so evil. And they try to put as many charges as they can, hoping that the jury will at least give them one or two, right? If they can't get them all. So they stack them on. Influencing public servant, there's 4 of the felonies, I believe, that are influencing a public servant. And the one that's the most ridiculous of them is that the guy that's sitting there wiping my system, the people of Mesa County's election system, wiping the files, is the one I'm accused of influencing.
Oh my God.
That's why this is such the clown world. And then stolen identity. They accused me of stealing someone's identity, impersonation, not obeying the orders of the Secretary of State. And people that don't know the division of government, because we know we have the division of federal government and state government. State has rights that the federal government can't impinge on. But it's also same with the state government and the local governments, if you kind of think of it that way. So I was elected by the people. I have certain duties that I'm bound to by my oath with the Colorado Constitution as well as the U.S. Constitution, right? And to preserve election records in this case. That's not the duties of the Secretary of State. Hers isn't to preserve election records, but mine is to protect, to make sure she doesn't come in and delete them, because that is my job.
Right.
And people think, oh, well, you didn't obey the Secretary of State. We're both elected officials.
Right.
My local newspaper in this town, which is very liberal, but it's the only newspaper, has written over 700 above the fold color front page articles defaming me.
Vilifying. Totally vilifying.
Outright lies. I mean, The one before this last one on Saturday, I wrote down 5 different blatant lies they had told. The one that was just out a couple days ago, the same thing. It's meant to taint the jury pool. So if you ask the man on the street, that doesn't know me, they say throw her in prison because they've been conditioned to believe this. But I have faith that once the jurors, unless they're bought and paid for, or unless they're, are so far gone that once they hear the truth, I think they're going to be upset. I think they're going to be mad because I was upset when I realized that I'd been duped, that I'd been lied to, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, it doesn't matter. Your vote does count. Yes.
It's just a wow that you're even going through this. So as far as the people are concerned, as you are going to be going through this trial, what do you want people to really walk away with the most? Because what are some of the biggest things you think they're going to push during this trial? And we all know they're falsehoods, but what do you think is going to be the biggest that you'd like to correct right now?
Well, they're going to make it look like I was a criminal, which I didn't do anything illegal. So they're going to make it look like I was a criminal. The thing that's probably most egregious is that the indictment and the persecution of me says the people versus Tina Peters.
Oh my gosh.
The people don't want this.
Yeah.
They're not representing the people. They're representing Dominion voting systems and they're representing the Secretary of State that committed these acts. And it's not we the people. So that's one of the things that I think, I want people to walk away from. But even if they were able to send me to prison and what they want to do is 20 or more years in prison, that, more and more people are going to stand up. More and more people, this is going to ignite a fire. I mean, look what's happened with President Trump. As they have persecuted him, his popularity has just grown and the truth has come out and people are turning and now believing. And I think that's, they need to silence me. They need to send a chilling effect to any election worker out there that would ever question if these elections are, if they're fraudulent. So that's what they want to do. I remember General Flynn told me in the very beginning, he said, I asked his advice. He said, you be as vocal and visible as possible. He says, the safest you will be. And so that's what I've done. I'm not one that seeks fame and glory and all those things to be out there. But I have worked really hard to be a voice for the people. So all I would ask is for people to repost, to maybe go on my Twitter. It's at Real Tina Peters. And my truth is Tina Peters, but mainly I'm on Twitter, to not just but to share, get this information out. Go to my website, tinapeters.us, share from there the story and what's going on, and the interviews I've done. I've done so many interviews, exposing this.
Is proof that if anyone had a question out there, there you go. There is some proof now that it's inside these machines. Because when people put the vote in the machine, that's not the issue. It's when the vote comes out of the machine, right? And the network inside the machine that's the problem. But the Secretary of State, even in my own state, or the Lieutenant Governor, even in my own state, was going around just watching the vote go in and then inviting everyone to lunch and saying everything's perfect, everything's wonderful, and everyone knows it's not. Okay, I'm going to come right back. And I'm going to give you the nutshell, the thing that you need to walk away from this hour understanding, because it's explosive. I'll be right back. The great, the Honorable Tina Peters, the amazing Tina Peters, going to trial this week for trying to show you, the people, the election fraud. I'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to The Kate Daly Show. All opinions expressed by the